Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. Welcome back to a brand new video looking at the latest news and rumours in and around Molineux. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe. And be sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Only been a couple of days since our last update, but still lots of new news to update you guys on. And the first big piece of news, which has only just been released just before recording, is that the Wolves pre-season tour has finally been announced. So it was revealed at the end of last week that Wolves will be going to Alicante in Spain. And that is exactly where they're going to be going. And two fixtures have been revealed. On the 20th of July, Wednesday the 20th of July, Wolves will be playing second division Spanish club Alaves. And on the Saturday the 23rd of July at 7 p.m, they'll be playing Turkish side Besiktas. Both games are going to be played at the Camillo Cano Stadium in Alicante, about a 15-minute drive from Benidorm. So if any of you guys want to go, that's probably the best place to stop right now. So really looking forward to that. We'll be going. Going to be looking at, as soon as I finish this video, going to get everything booked up. So looking forward to that. Now, talking about Besiktas, obviously a team that we played twice in the Europa League a couple of years ago. Romain Saiss, a player that is... it was revealed that he was going to be leaving Wolves at the end of the season, at the end of his contract. He has become a Besiktas player as of today. So he's going to be signing for the Turkish club on a free. And we will be seeing him against Wolves in the summer, which will be obviously quite interesting. So Saiss was at the club for such a long period of time. We wish him all the best at his new club. And it'll be interesting to see how he gets on at Besiktas. I believe their new manager or their new style of play includes a back three. So I think he'll slot in very, very well there. Again, talking about Turkish clubs as well, Patrick Catrone. I'm sure some of you have probably forgotten all about him. He is still a Wolves player and he's still under contract at the club. But this summer, Wolves are probably going to really look to sell him. This has got to go down as one of the biggest ever Wolves transfer flops. 16 odd million pounds spent on Patrick Catrone. I think we'd be lucky if we get 5 million quid this summer for him. He's not in the plans. He's going to be sold this summer. It said that 2 Turkish clubs have inquired about him. 24 years of age now. Still got a lot of time ahead of him. But he might be on the tour, but I don't think he'll be a Wolves player going into next season. Of course, he was part of that. He was with the Wolves squad last season on the tour. Scored a goal in one or two of the friendlies. Played a big part of it. But it was obvious that he didn't want to be in and around the club. Now, Matheus Nunes, João Palhinha, we spoke about them a lot, not just on the last video, but throughout this whole pre-season so far. Portugal's international duty, well, pretty much everyone's international duty is now over. A lot of players are now going on holiday, possibly for a week or so. So we might not see transfers be confirmed until next week. Wolves have obviously, their pre-season is at the end of July. Bruno Lage said at the end of last season he pretty much wanted his squad set in stone by the start of pre-season. So we've got about 3 or 4 weeks before, that starts. So we really want to be getting, knuckling down and trying to get these transfers done as soon as possible. Now, Matheus Nunes is a player that, according to the press in Portugal, is a player that Bruno Lage has insisted that he really wants. It said at the time that his value was going to be around 40 million euros. We spoke about that a little bit on yesterday's video. But now apparently Newcastle and Everton have entered the race and they've got an interest in him as well. Now, one of the 3 teams, Wolves, Newcastle or Everton, have apparently bid 45 million euros, which has been knocked back by Sporting. And apparently they're holding out for Matheus Nunes' release clause, which is around 60 million euros. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens if Sporting are going to move on that. You would assume with the links with Jorge Mendes, Wolves are probably going to have a little bit more play and a little bit more joy with that move, especially as both clubs have done quite a bit of business previously. Now, João Palhinha, on the other hand, obviously another Sporting player. Right now with him, Fulham have entered the race to sign João Palhinha. They've not given up on him. Wolves are said to be more advanced than the 2 clubs at the moment. Fulham have offered in around that 20 million euro mark, which Wolves have said to have also looked at. But it'll be interesting right now. With the whole Fulham thing, obviously Wolves want Palhinha. Sometimes it can be agents or the press pushing Wolves to hurry up and get the move over the line. But obviously Fulham, they've got Marco Silva in charge, did a great job at Fulham last season. Pretty well respected manager. So we'll have to wait and see. But you would hope, and I suppose pray, that João Palhinha is going to be coming to Wolves. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Now, I spoke about it a couple of times in regards to Marquinhos, who's a Brazilian winger, played for Sao Paulo. It was announced on Monday that he'd signed for Arsenal. Now, you'll remember there was a little bit of a to-do a few weeks ago because it was said that Wolves had apparently got a pre-agreement contract in place with Marquinhos, and that Wolves were going to be taking the player and his representatives to court and take out legal action because he's now moved to Arsenal rather than Wolves. Now, it was said on Monday that Wolves apparently thought it was sort of far enough over the line. They were even having a move to grasshoppers lined up for him. And when, as soon as somebody says that, you got to laugh anyway, haven't you? But apparently today, as per the Express and Star, Wolves are not going to be taking legal action after missing out on the winger. The club are said to be disappointed at not landing him, but it's understood they're going to draw a line under the situation and now move on. So that says to me they probably know that either one, it's going to cost far too much money to sort of take this legal, or two, Wolves don't really have a leg to stand on, and there wasn't really a case to be had there. So I suppose we'll never know unless the club come out with it publicly, which I doubt they ever will. But Marquinhos is an Arsenal player, and we will not, in the short term, we're not going to be seeing him in a Wolves shirt. Now, a player that is possibly going to be leaving the club, we spoke a little bit about this on our end of season podcast with Tim Spears. He mentioned that there was interest from Holland in Keanu Hoever. At the time, Tim said there was clubs like Ajax looking at him, but recently from Holland, there's been reports that PSV are looking at Keanu Hoever to, come into their defence next season. It hasn't been a great campaign for Keanu Hoever. It was said that he expected to be in and around the first team a lot more last season, had a little bit of a falling out with Bruno Lage, and had an injury and not really got back into the team. So, not really sure whether this will be a loan or a permanent move, but I suppose we'll have to wait and see. But there are a number of fans that aren't too fussed about Keanu Hoever, and if we can recoup as much money as we can, if we can get in around that 10 million quid which we spent on him, I think a lot of people would probably agree to sell him. Now, another player that's looking at a contract right now is João Moutinho. Wolves are said to be positive about the talks between the club and Moutinho right now. Of course, 35 years of age. Apparently, the sticking point was that contract length. But both parties are apparently close to an agreement over a new deal. And before the end of the month, I think we'll see a confirmation of what will be happening with João Moutinho. So fingers crossed we can keep him. Neves, no new news on him right now. But like I said, probably in the next week or so, players returning from holidays, pre-season slowly starting. I think we'll see this transfer window start to ramp up and speed up a little bit more. But guys, let me know your thoughts on today's news. Be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'll see you all very, very soon.